What is up, besties? It is your girl, the Karmic DF, back to you again with another video, and this time we are looking at JLo. There was a little bit of Ben Affleck again in this reading, but I have done a reading on just their relationship. I'll try to remember to link it. But basically, what we're looking at is, honestly, I covered a lot of things. I took a dive into like why she is the way she is in the first part, and then I just kind of let spirit take over. I found out some stuff that I don't think the industry's mentioned, and I doubt that they ever will. I looked into the future of her relationship, as well as what's going on in her career, as well as all these people coming out saying that they're having bad interactions with her. I wanted to see if that's true. I wanted to see how she is. So as always, these are alleged, and they're for entertainment purposes only. No facts here. Okay? Okay. So, yeah, I just kind of looked into her. Honestly, I don't know how I feel after this reading. You let me know how you guys feel in the comments, because yeah. And we might need a part 2. I don't personally feel like it, but if you guys need it, let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. Hello to my regulars. Hi, besties. I hope that you guys are doing great. I know it's a Monday. No one's thrilled about it, bestie, me either. But, you know, each day is another chance to begin again. So let's live our best lives, even though your girl's tired. I am tired. So, yeah, I mean, you'll see what's in the reading. I don't want to imprint too much, and yeah. So, as always, these are alleged and for entertainment purposes only. If you guys want to book a personal reading with me, it takes up to 3 weeks. The link is my website in the description box below. Please be patient with me. You would rather have a good reading than a rushed reading. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All the links are down below, where you will know when I post another video in case I get lost in the algorithm. The decks that I use are always linked in the description box below. And yeah, that's it. So without further ado, besties, let's get into it. All right, besties. So I'm just going to take a look at JLo and then kind of go from there. Right away, I'm hearing pick me. So yeah, I think that speaks for itself. Also, aren't there people coming out saying that she's not really from the block? Because I'm feeling that too. Because they're showing me how I grew up, and then they're showing me like, oh, I don't know what that TV show is. There's a TV show, and the kids all go to this prestigious school. I can't think of what it is because I never actually watched it. Was it like One Tree Hill? It's kind of giving that vibe, white school kid vibe. She didn't grow up from the hood. That's why there's a disconnect. So I don't know if this is already like literally proven, because I don't follow any of this that much. But this woman has no idea what struggle is. But for some reason, she does have a lack mentality. So I feel like JLo is a very good example of you could climb any money tree you would like, but if you don't have a solid sense of self, no amount of money is going to help you. Because they're showing me all of the waitresses and how like apparently she's cheap or something. That feels true to me. Feels like most of the stories that have come out about her are in fact true. Because I see people being like, people need to know this. She's cruel. She's not nice. I think she doesn't like women, and she definitely does not like women that are Hispanic. Yeah, because she sees them as like a direct threat. But I feel like part of it does have to do with the industry. It's not just a mean girl thing. Because I'm being drawn to how apparently like she's called out other celebrities in the industry, like Madonna, for instance. And then I'm being drawn to the whole industry plant thing. So, listen, I'm not saying that she's a good person or a bad person. Honestly, life is not that black and white. We all have good and bad traits. But that being said, I feel like sometimes when she's targeting celebrities, that feels more like an industry plant move than it does I actually don't like them move. I do feel that there is jealousy, especially towards Shakira, because they are drawing me to how they both had to do the Super Bowl together. She most definitely didn't want to do it with Shakira because she's jealous of Shakira. She definitely, yeah, she has an issue with Spanish women. It's like only I can be, I think she has that lack mindset where it's like women of color never succeed. So it's only me. This woman, like, I'm not defending her, but she's coming from a place of trauma. There is something from her childhood that she has not healed. Does she have daddy issues? Because that would not shock me. I don't buy that her home life was healthy. You're not going to convince me that there was love in her childhood home. I do feel like she was raised to be a rich, entitled kid. I do feel that. But it almost feels like her parents giving her money because they're lacking in the love department. So I don't know the story of her parents, but you're not going to convince me that it was a loving home. Even if it could just be as simple as like her parents were rich too and they just didn't prioritize shit. But it feels like I seek my validation through money and through men. And so women, get out of my way. You're just a problem. And then it's like, this woman has no idea what abundance even feels like. She could be a billionaire tomorrow and she will still be cheap. She will still feel like everybody. This woman is living in trauma and I don't understand where it's coming from. But let's take a look at the cards. Spirit, what do we need to know about JLo? I'm so sorry. I don't mean to laugh at that, but ouch. The first card. She's a parasite. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, I had to laugh. Okay. All right, no, for real, Spirit. I'm sorry, but the way everybody's coming after her and then the first card to drop is parasite. And then just Spirit's just showing me all the pictures of Ben Affleck when he looks fucking miserable. JLo's an energy vampire. I'm sorry. She doesn't have a solid sense of self, so she needs... It's the definition of an unevolved Leo, and I'm a Leo, so shut up, Leos. You know we're capable. But it's just me. Like, I wouldn't say she's a narcissist because, like, that's a literal disorder. But when I say that she has narcissistic tendencies, like, I'm downplaying that. Like, honestly, y'all, you don't even need to be mean to her because, like, that's so funny. I'm being drawn to how, like, apparently, allegedly, I don't know how true this is, that she asked a bunch of people that she was going to hire, like, and if anybody's a Virgo, and then she said no to all of them. You know why she can't handle Virgos? I don't know if this is a conscious thing. Virgos are strategic. They're good planners. They leave no stone unturned, which means Virgos are nitpicky, which means Virgos will call you out on your shit. And I feel like allegedly either JLo has had a Virgo snap at her for telling it like it is because it's giving me like tough love, or she just intuitively knows that Virgos don't tolerate shit because for some reason I'm being drawn to, like, she can't handle criticism at all. This is why she don't let people look at her, talk to her, nothing. This girl has such a fragile ego. Why do you think, seriously, remove your emotions, just be logical for 2 seconds. What type of person puts their relationship all over social media 24/7 telling you it's the best relationship in the world? It's a person that feels extremely insecure. JLo's just really fucking insecure. And I didn't mean to laugh that hard, but I just find it so funny that's just... I feel like Ben Affleck's face alone proves why this picture fell. But anyway, I do feel like something's coming. Like, the tides is changing with that reducing to 10. I don't know why, but it feels like her time's coming. What the fuck, dude? Huh. It's in the reverse. Okay. Okay. Listen. People that are mean are people that don't like themselves. Think about when you're in a good place, you're not mean to other people, right? Like, when you're feeling like you're on top of the world, you're not angry about traffic. You don't care that there's a red light. Life is good, right? JLo doesn't know who she is. JLo has been trying on masks since she was a kid, since she was a child star. Because you got to remember, she got into the industry young. And what have we seen across the board with these celebrities? When they get in, the earlier they get in, the more they don't have a sense of self. And so what I see her picking up masks and trying to be relevant and also someone people can understand and see themselves in. The problem is JLo doesn't know who she is. And so if you don't know who you are, how can you be a brand? Because your brand is nothing. Your brand is like, I'm seeing smoke. It's like, it's bullshit. So I do feel with that fated to suffer card, like one, I think her soul signed up for this to some extent. I don't know how that plays out. I know some of you guys aren't spiritual, so I'm not going to go too far into it, but it does feel like this was, you know, fated to happen. I do feel like she might have, because I keep hearing deal with the devil. So I don't know who she initially signed with, but it's giving me the vibe of like she did everything she could to get in the industry, which means I'm hearing like she had to kiss a couple frogs. I am being drawn to Diddy, so it could be that. But that might just be one of many. It seems like she really... You're not going to convince me that she has a solid relationship with her father, because I see her trying to prove herself to all of these men in the industry. It's like for her, I wouldn't even be shocked if she still sees it as a win that she dated Diddy even after everything's coming out, because to her, everything is about success. That's it. That's all it is. It's just, I don't like myself, so I lash out at others. I don't want people to know that I don't like myself. And maybe if I create a brand that people can see themselves in, then people will love me, and then I can love myself. This is a person with no sense of self. That colorless angel, she drains the fuck out of everybody, because it's like, love me, love me, love me, see me, see me, see me, worship me, because maybe then I can learn how to like myself. She don't like herself. She doesn't. She's putting this is the problem with celebrities. We tend to idolize these celebrities, but a lot of the times they don't even like themselves. It's all a character, and they get lost in that. A lot of these celebrities get lost in the character. They don't know the difference between, you know, when set closes and when their identity comes out. It's like when your job ends up becoming you, which I can relate to that as someone who reads tarot every day. It's kind of hard to turn that off. And so I feel like JLo is one of many that it's like, my identity is my craft, my identity is my stardom, and when you let a bunch of people define who you are, then you're going to take it real bad if people don't like you, and then you're going to do everything in your power to change it. So what we're seeing is a 50-year-old with the emotional intelligence of a 16-year-old. That's what's going on. Sometimes it's really not that deep and messed up. She doesn't know who she is, and so she drains everybody else around her. She sees women as a threat, and she sees men as opportunity. This is just one of the many ways in which the business of the industry fucks up other people. Triumph of lies. This woman is dead set, hell-bent on convincing everybody that she is a talented singer, a talented actress, and more important than anything else, that her relationship is in fact okay. I just can't. Girl, admit it to yourself, baby. Like, come on. Perchance to dream in the reverse. It's like her dreams, she lies to herself so much that she believes them. That's the problem. Because look, remember how I said 10, which is like the ending of a cycle, but it feels like she's death gripping this. 10 here again, but it's in the reverse. I refuse to change the narrative of my story. I refuse to just be honest with myself and be honest with the people around me. This girl, I feel, you know, I'm not going to drag her too hard, because I feel like in the primitive years, which the years that mattered, and I see this with a lot of celebrities, where she should have been finding out what works for her, finding out what she likes, what she doesn't like, finding who she is. She was too busy chasing her dream. And there's nothing wrong with chasing your dream, but she didn't get to experience being a teenager. She didn't get to experience her 20s as a normal 20-year-old. So if you don't have those formative years and use them to develop a solid sense of self, then you will forever not have a solid sense of self until you get triggered enough or something detrimental enough happens for you to have to face yourself. And I feel like this is the universe and karma and universal law going, time's up. Like, you've been lying to yourself long enough. It's falling apart because there's no solid foundation that it's built upon. So look at that. That's another 10. I missed that. I'm telling you, I feel like we're about to see the end of JLo. You know what it's giving me the vibe of is like the celebrities that get called out and then they kind of just fade away. I wouldn't be shocked if this is like her last hurrah, her last ditch attempt at being somebody important, Because you know what it's drawing me to is like Amber Heard. I'm seeing Amber Heard and Johnny Depp in my mind. Now, whether or not that means Ben's toxic too, I mean, they're two Leos, so I'm sure they fight bad. But, and because you could tell on his face he's fed up. But, this reminds me a lot of like how Amber Heard fought really freaking hard. But you could tell when all of it was said and done, it was like, was it really worth it? You know what I mean? And then she kind of like disappeared a little bit. Like I think she was in that movie. She had a recurring role on Aquaman or whatever the hell. I'm confusing my Marvel movies, whatever. But it's just kind of giving me that vibe where she might kind of fade away because it's like, I think there's nothing she could really do to prove herself at this point. I mean, every superstar has some like loyal followers, and I think she's going to have that. But it kind of gives me the vibe of her kind of silently taking an L. It's giving me Amber Heard. I don't know if that means she's definitely going to disappear from the mainstream, but I feel like she's going to get nothing but criticism because we can all tell she's fake. It's like the veil has lifted. We could see people for who they really are now. She's not a hood chick from the Bronx. Like, I don't know. Anybody else here went through poverty and had to actually live that type of life? Real recognize real. You know what I mean? She ain't it. Like, she ain't it. I know what that life is like, and she's putting on a show, but the problem is she doesn't get why people don't like her, but at the same time, she doesn't like her. Does she have Virgo placements? I want to know what's up with that, because Virgos, they'll tell you like it is, so I find it interesting. I feel like I need to pull a couple more cards just to see, but yeah. Yeah, the reason you get the ick from her is because it's all a show, because you don't know who she is. Yeah, she's so fucking embarrassed. And think about a Leo, an unevolved Leo. An unevolved Leo, the Italian in me coming out. Think about an unevolved Leo not being praised. They'll lose their shit, right? So JLo's just trying to get her praise back. That's what it is. Her ego's taking a hit. Us Leos, yeah, it's true. We like praise. It's something we enjoy. I mean, if you're evolved, you can live without it, but she's not, and so she can't. And so that's what this documentary thing's going on. This is why she's trying to parade her doomed relationship in our face. It's because she's embarrassed. Like, that's really what this is. I do also believe the people that came and that come out and say that, like, you're not allowed to talk to her, you're not allowed to touch her, you're not allowed to look at her. There's something here about, like, okay. Can anybody let me know down in the comments if you've heard anything? I mean, she was, dating Diddy at one point, right? That Temple of My Body card in the reverse, even though it is drawing me to the fact that these people coming out are telling the truth, that she is like that, don't touch me, don't look at me. But with the I won't cry for you in the reverse with the downcast pride, it is kind of giving me the vibe of somebody who may have survived SA. Because with the Temple of My Body in reverse, it's kind of giving me the vibe of, I don't feel like I have control over anything, including my body. And why would a woman not feel like she's in control of her body? And then that I won't cry for you in reverse gives me the vibe of those that don't heal go on to hurt people. And I'm not saying that she SAs people. I'm simply saying the reason she's so mean and wicked is because there's a lot of things that's happened to her in the industry, not learning who she is, probably making bad deals, bad judgment calls, everything for fame, right? But I think some shit has happened to her, just like we've seen with all of these people, where in order for her to survive this industry, she had to turn her heart off. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying this is what I see with a lot of these celebrities. She's kind of giving me Justin Bieber vibes, where it's like I lash out because I don't want to deal with what's inside. So even though I did kind of, hyena laugh at the beginning, I do think that this is coming from a place of trauma. I'd be shocked if she didn't have PTSD. I don't know if she's gone and talked about it, because it's giving me the vibe of like Meghan Markle, where it's like even when she does try to tell you the truth, she's got something about her that's just that ick, right? And the ick that you're feeling, at least with JLo, is the lack of authenticity. But some of the shit she's saying, I don't think she's spoken up about this. I'd be shocked because I feel like it's got something to do with the Diddy era. I think that's what made her cold. I don't think she was always cold. I do think that she was a pick-me, back in high school. I do. I feel it, like, just kind of like, almost kind of like naive, because I'm seeing the blonde chick from Clueless, where she's just kind of dumb. And I feel like that's why she did so well in the industry in the beginning, because it's like, I don't know who I am, you can mold me. So this is why I don't like putting emotions into these types of readings, or really any of my types of readings, because you don't know what somebody's going through, right? And I'm not saying how she treats wait staff is okay, and I'm not saying how she acts is okay. But if you've been the victim of SA and you don't have anybody in your back, like, supporting you, you don't have anybody, and you're just trying to, and it's normalized in this industry, and you just need to survive and just go, 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 go. Your soul's going to fragment because you have to survive. So you're disassociating from your trauma, which means it's going to manifest itself by you being more bitter, by you being easy to snap, by you being highly critical. It's coming from somewhere. So while I understand the need to cancel her because, she's cruel to other people, I'm not saying that that's okay. I don't support it at all. Always take care of your wait staff and those people. It reminds me of the lockdown and how, the people that were really running the show were obviously doctors, but it was also, grocery stores and shit like that. So, support those people. But I do feel like JLo has a lot of unhealed trauma that she has not dealt with. Should she take it out on other people? No. But just something to be aware of. It's not coming from nowhere. She's not evil for no reason. No one is mean for no reason. They're usually mean because they're in pain. But let's look at the tarot. All right, so for the tarot, we are going to use, I was actually drawing a haunted house, so I feel like we're going to find some shit out. So as always, this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. Like this video if you haven't already. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I would love to have you. But let's find out any and all tea that we need to know about JLo. What the hell is going on? All alleged, no facts. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. The way that this woman tries to throw money at her problems, but she's the problem. Yeah, I'm hearing Taylor Swift. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. But I do think that she's got, there's some mental health issues going on here. There's more to this story. Obviously, like, celebrities love to pretend that they're great and wonderful and yada, yada. But that Nine of Swords is yelling at me just as loud as it felt when I felt the need to tell you guys that people go through shit. So again, not saying that what she does is okay, but I do feel like she has a habit of self-sabotaging and then throwing money at shit. And I think she's slowly starting to realize that money is not going to save all of her problems. It's not going to. That self-sabotage is really screaming at me. It's like, well, maybe I just throw money at it. Maybe if I throw a documentary out, maybe if I release another hit, and I feel like she got humbled recently because it's almost like, I'm being drawn to like the tours being canceled. It's definitely because it's not getting enough sales, for sure. Allegedly, in front of tapers, there's only no facts here. But I almost see like business and everybody just being like, girl, like, this is not going to work. We told you this was a bad idea. Stop putting your own money into this. Like, this is giving me the vibe of like someone who needs to go on YouTube and just do an authentic apology and admit who the hell you are. Because she's going to cancel herself. Like, it just... Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but it really feels like if she keeps on, she's going to cancel herself. She is hell-bent on, oh my God. She is hell-bent on convincing y'all that this relationship is perfect. Where is it, Spirit? Where is this coming from? What? She has this, unevolved Leos, it's not shocking. She has this crazy need to be like, worshipped, idolized, appreciated. But again, being realistic here, I don't feel like her parents gave that to her in childhood, so I will acknowledge that. But I think that she just has this like, I remember watching this TikToker that made a comment saying how like she always does these romance movies because she like makes up shit because she has this like dream of like the perfect love. I kind of see that. I feel like she puts a lot of worth into money and to relationships. So it's like, I don't even care if it's not working. It needs to work. So it kind of makes sense why Ben looks miserable. I've already done a reading on their relationship. I'll link it in the description box. But if I forget, just look up my name with JLo and Ben Affleck and it'll come up. But yeah, it's like, and it's also like, well, what if I put my relationship out there? At least people like Ben. So I also feel like she thought, see, because I didn't buy their relationship. I almost wonder if she got back with Ben because you know how everybody after the lockdown, it seemed like nostalgia came back, and like a lot of the millennial groups came back, like NSYNC just recently came back, I think. It just, Steve from Blue's Clues came back. It's kind of giving me like she's watching what the public is into, and it's like, ooh, nostalgia. That's possible. We could do that. So I feel like she thinks that JLo and Ben being back together will be like, oh, they'll love me again because they loved us the first time we were together. But like, that was a different generation. We're different now. We're older, and we could see that you're fake. You know what I mean? Like, allegedly fake. But I don't even think that she wanted to do this, that weird, awkward ass documentary. Because with Four Swords in the reverse, it's like I'm out of my comfort. But I have to show off my relationship because this will make it right. This will make people love me again. This will bring money into the house. Like, she just doesn't. Every fucking time I read celebrities, I'm like, your brain is not wired like normal human being brains. If I've seen anything, first of all, if your dream is to be, you know, actor, singer, whatever, don't go down this route because you could do it yourself going through TikTok or something else. Because these people that get into the industry before their brains develop, they move like, the only way I know how to describe it is like homeschooled kids. It's like they're on a separate island and they don't have the same brains as us. So the problem is, yeah, you can't really be, how do I word this? How can you relate to middle class, poor people, blah, 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 if you've never been there? Do you see what I'm saying? She's not Jenny from the block. She's Jenny from the prep school. And Jenny from the prep school never even figured out who Jenny was. So, do you see my like, I'm having trouble doing this reading because I'm like, I feel like I'm reading a character. I don't feel like I'm reading a person. She doesn't know who she is. This is why she's so bitter. This is why she's so angry. If you're a girl, you're a fucking threat because until she learns how to love herself, which, isn't she 50 now? It's not looking good. I mean, she makes it to 60. That's the second Saturn return, so maybe then. But this woman just is increasingly bitter because she just doesn't get it. In her brain, it's like, I don't understand. Why can't I throw money at this problem? I don't understand. Why aren't people getting nostalgic over me and Ben? She just doesn't get that the problem, what she's missing, is the lack of authenticity. It's just like, how can I throw money at my problems so that I can make more money? So I can feel better, even though the money's not making me feel better, which is why I'm cheap, so that I can make more money. Oh my God, her brain is exhausting. I'll give you that. Yeah, Empress in reverse. This woman don't love herself, which is sad. It is sad. No one should feel that way. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, no. I don't even think... Who? Is it her? Well, at least one of them does not want to be in this relationship for a fact. One of them for sure. But I kind of think it's both of them. Because Empress in reverse is a lack of self-love. Nine of Pentacles upright is like, when I see that card, it reminds me of the song I Could Do Bad All By Myself, which is like, I create my own abundance. I'm independent. I'm free. But I think she has resentment because it's almost like I have to win at all costs with that Seven of Swords in reverse to create my stability, which means that I need you, aka Ben. So it's like, let's pretend that we love each other. Let's throw some banter. Let's give them something. You know what? I feel like because she doesn't know how to be a person, it's almost like she's trying to take ideas from other people. Because what I see is like, and I don't know if this is literal or if it's metaphorical, but I see her like watching the Kardashians and being like, oh, that works. Okay. And then I bring in my relationship. Okay. And then like the toxic up and down, that brings views. Like I see her studying people because she doesn't know how to be people. Like, so I don't know if she got this idea from the Kardashians quite literally, or if that's just something, because I just see her being like, I don't know how to create, so I take it from other people. I don't know how to be a person, so I take the idea from other people. This gives me the vibe of like a woman who would say that she came up with her own idea, but like actually got it from a TikToker that has like 10,000 followers. You know what I mean? Like, it's giving me that type of vibe. She don't know how to be a person. She's not actually happy with Ben. Ben's not happy with her. I feel like they don't even really, like, outside of the documentary, whatever kind of bullshit they put on, I don't feel like they even really fuck with each other like that. Like, it gives me like we're roommates. That's kind of the vibe. I don't buy that they're happy even on the rare occasion. Like, it's giving me the vibe of roommates. Yeah, 8 of Cups in reverse. Can't move on. Yeah, with the Ace of Cups and then the Knight of Swords in reverse, my intentions aren't pure. Here's a new offer. This is all just a show to get people to love her again. It's honestly kind of sad. Yeah, and I dropped the Sun in reverse. She doesn't know how to... I don't know how many times I can explain this. She doesn't know how to be a person, which is why she is kind of ironically the perfect industry plant. So I wonder if that's how she was actually brought into fame. Because I don't think that they put her on because she was talented. Hear me out. First of all, there's so much rumors that she hasn't sang her own music, so we'll leave it at that. But in terms of acting and stuff like that, she's giving me the vibe of the person that takes the scraps, the person that takes the shady deals, the person that's willing to work with the people that other people aren't willing to work with. This has a lot to do, again, with that weird divide that I keep seeing in Hollywood, where it's like talented versus how did you come up kind of vibe. There's like two groups going on here where it's like talent versus industry plants. Like that's kind of what I'm seeing. Cause like, I don't know what's going on in the industry. It's fucking weird. But I don't know, man. Sun in the reverse, Temperance, Magician. I think you're going to continue to have people coming forward and saying that they've had really bad experiences with JLo, especially women. I see an emphasis on women trying to make people aware that JLo is not a girl's girl. I see even more people coming forward saying that's not her story. It's kind of giving me the vibe of like people coming out to say like for instance, when everybody came out and was like, Obama's not from America, here's the Kenya Papers. Like that's kind of the vibe. It's like JLo hasn't experienced I don't know. People are just going to keep coming forward with stories about her and who she really is. Because I see people in the industry even that have tried to be close to her, and it's just like she's just a bitch. Like I don't think you know who I'm seeing in my mind's eye is Jamie Lynn Spears. I don't know how that plays in. I haven't done the reading yet, but we think Jamie's one of the people that have been SA'd. And her trauma manifested as her being aggressive. So I'm kind of feeling like that might be the same thing. Like, you know how they always say the casting couch? And I told y'all, like, it seems like the higher up you go, the more your moral compass is pushed. I feel like in the beginning, JLo's moral compass was smashed. Does that mean that she, wayfared kids I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying, like, and again, this is sad. I'm not saying that she's, I want you to really think about what type of headspace you have to be in to do some shit like this. Like, this is sad. But I feel like she has taken a lot of offers that required her to lose a piece of herself. So think about what would happen if you dated Diddy. You see what I'm saying? Think about what she might have had to do behind the scenes to get as high up as she has gotten for someone who doesn't really have too much talent, at least in the music industry. So, when you get this man card here, a guy that doesn't have good intentions, that leads to opportunities, are you picking up what I'm putting down? That would make her sad. It would make women talk about it. And if they don't know the whole story, then they would think she's a pick-me. They would think that she's out to get the men. But in reality, her lack mentality... Let me give you an example that's a little more PG. How about this? So let's say this was a time when she was dating Diddy, right? This is giving me the vibe of like, oh, you want that movie? You want Selena? Well, they want so-and-so. But, if you're willing to, the executive on film, so we have shit against you, I can make you a star. Like, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. So I think we should be a little bit more gentle with JLo because I think there's a story here of her having to do things for fame, which again I guess you could argue, like, well, then just say no and walk away. But I know most of you are women. So you ever been put in a position where you're in a room with a man and you feel like you don't have a choice? Because I have, and that's a scary position to be in. So this might be what got her cold. It might have been one too many, I'm going to have to take the L, take a couple shots, sleep with this guy to get what I want. And then, you know, a lot of resentment. And then maybe, you know, because I can't get out of my mind, like, the celebrities I've already read where we find out that maybe they've had to endure some shit that we didn't know about. So I'm just saying, when you ask yourself why she's so high up there, if she can't sing, then you need to ask who might have taken advantage of her and how far did that go? Yeah, 10 of Wands is a burden. Hermit, I'm out of my comfort zone, but it's for success. I'm telling you, there's more to her story, and it's the shit she's not sharing. She's sharing a story that's made up, and the irony is her real story would make you actually care about her. Because it would probably be something along the lines of like, all right, yeah, I was a little bit more rich back in the day, but then I got into the industry and then I found out real quick that nobody has your back. And in order to get ahead, I had to do these things and I didn't want to do these things. And there was one time where I tried to leave and I couldn't. Like, if she was actually willing to be herself, I think a lot of you would like her, because it's just kind of like motivation in the wrong way and being unfortunately around the wrong people. And again, I've told you with all of these readings, it's like they can smell people without a sense of self. And if you don't have a sense of self, you're going to be more willing to do things that you wouldn't have originally done. Yeah, that's 6 of Swords. This is about transition, but look at how chaotic that card is. And look at how it looks like she's being chased down by a man. I think she's Stockholmed by the industry. Because you know who I can't get out of my... And then the devil card comes out. Come on. I feel like she's Stockholmed by the industry. You know what it's giving me is I keep being drawn to like Usher. Remember how I said it kind of felt like Usher was kind of like Diddy's right-hand man, because it's like if you can't beat him, join him. So I'm not saying that she was like Diddy's right-hand man or anything like that. I'm simply saying she might have had to see some shit and maybe she just wasn't strong enough. You know what I mean? Some people just don't feel like they're strong enough, and so they can't do much more than that. But I feel like there was a transition at one point where she lost her innocence. Yeah, because the industry is designed to pit women against each other. So that was just another facet of it. That's why there's interviews of her talking shit about other actresses. Granted, yes, there is a jealousy component for sure, but there's also, you have to say this, they love the feuds. They love the drama. It brings more sales. It gets you talked about. And when you come into this industry and you don't have a solid sense of self, what do you think's going to happen? Someone's going to tell you what to do. And if you don't know any better and you're blissfully unaware, you might do some shit that you might not have thought about doing. And so I think the transition into her getting really famous came at a very strong cost. Came with her ostracizing herself, making enemies in the industry. I think that's why she hasn't brought up the Diddy situation. It's kind of giving me the vibe of like how Justin had the 2 days with Diddy and then boom, he's famous. It's kind of giving me that same vibe. I think there's more to her story. And though I don't agree with how she acts, and, you know, at any age you can grow up, I do also think that there's more to her story that's a little sad. And I'm not going to pretend that that doesn't exist. Because we need to understand that people are just people. They're not just bad. They're not just good. They're people. That's the Dick card. The Fool card's in reverse, so not being naive. 3 of Wands, that's expansion. Ace of Swords, or Ace of Wands. I'm not naive. In order for me to expand in the industry, what does that look like? I just keep hearing like I had to kiss a few frogs, but think about pick up what I'm putting down. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's a reason JLo's so bitter. There's a reason she's so angry. There's a reason she snaps so easily. If you don't feel like you have control over your body, if you don't feel like you have control over your life, then you're in survival mode. And if you're in survival mode, you're much quicker to snap. Queen of Wands, that's her vulnerability. Yeah, literally. Queen of Wands, she's a Leo. The Strength card, I was drawn to do the Haunted House Tarot. To anybody that's seen me do this reading or do with these cards, this reminds me of SVU. It reminds me of Marissa, aka Olivia Benson. Two of Swords is giving me the vibe of like, I don't want to face this. Nope, not looking at it. Just going to chase fame. I feel like she's had to do some stuff that she's not proud of that kind of robbed her of her innocence, kind of robbed her of her ability to be human. It's like in order to survive, I had to turn that part of me off. So I think this is, I'm sorry, you guys are probably really bummed because you probably thought that this was going to be a whole smear campaign, but I don't set up my readings that way. I want to know why people move the way they do. And JLo's story is actually a lot sadder than you would think. Yeah, look, 3 of Wands in the reverse, and that looks like an abuse card. But in order to work, you got to do things that you don't want to do, and it comes quick. Didooch comes quick. Anyway, sorry, my Gemini moon needs to make light out of these situations in order for me to do these tarot readings. But yeah, this is like, she got into the industry fast because of what she was willing to do that other people weren't willing to do. But again, it's not like she got into the industry and she was like, I'll bang anyone that'll get me. Like, it doesn't start like that. It starts with, can you do me a favor? Like, they're drawing me to, like, cops and how, like, you know, maybe a bad guy catches a cop with a prostitute, right? He's having a really bad day. His wife just left him. So what started as something relatively innocent, a month later can turn into, now you're getting me the addresses of people I want to kill. Like, you don't know what you're getting into when you start. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how she felt. It's kind of the vibe of like, maybe I just have to sleep with one guy and then my celebrity's forever. You know what I mean? But I feel like she learned very quick that you can't have a heart and be successful in this industry. And so you're seeing the manifestation of her pain. Yeah, 5 of Cups in the reverse, not dealing with the pain that comes with this. I also think that she's angry because she knows that other women knows what goes on in this industry. So it's almost like, why don't you have my back? Why aren't you friends with me? It's like there's another network underneath celebrities that we don't see where they all know what's going on. Every time I see this, like for instance, when I did the Will Smith reading on if he's allegedly gay, it always gives me the vibe of like, everybody behind the scenes knows what's going on, but they give us this perfectly curated image of what they want us to see. And so for JLo, I think she's bitter because other women have done what she's done. They've gotten further. This is reminding me of Taylor Swift for some reason. I see this all the time where there's a lot of these celebrities that are like, they see the most successful girl celebrity as another female celebrity, and then they're like, okay, I have to do that. So I almost feel like she's bitter towards maybe Taylor Swift specifically, but it's just like the higher up you go, because it's like, I've had to do more than you guys have ever even experienced, so why am I not that high up? It's giving me the vibe of like, I've suffered, why am I not getting the accolades for all of my suffering? That's the vibe. That's really what this is. It's like, I did everything they told me to do. I sucked everything I had to suck. Even, unfortunately, my body was taken advantage of without my ability to say no. And I'm not a star yet. Like, that's kind of the vibe. That's the only way I know how to describe this. It's bitterness because of the parts of herself that she sold, metaphorically speaking, in order to be on top. And that never paid off because at the end of the day, people know when someone's being fake. And unfortunately, her fake persona is just not working anymore. Because the Two of Wands is like the tension, but it's giving me the tension of her with the industry, her with her public. It's just like she doesn't know how to be nurturing to give that off, because she's not nurturing to herself. No one was ever nurturing to her. Yeah, conflicts of the past. I do feel like she has paid off people in the past because she knew that her behavior was bad. So you aren't going to convince me that JLo knows that well, I'm wording that poorly. JLo knows that how she moves is wrong. If anybody cared about that. She does know how she moves is wrong because I do see her paying people off, allegedly. It might be nannies too, because I am being drawn to nannies. So maybe she's yelled at nannies and then paid them off. This gives me like house staff. So there's people that have worked in her home that she had to pay off, because with that Ace of Swords, it's like I snapped against my better judgment. And now I have to pay you not to go to the paparazzi, because this reminds me of details as well. So it's like, I think she's paid off quite a few people because she has a tendency of snapping. She doesn't, if it makes anybody feel any better, she's not nice to anybody. I think the only people that she's nice to would be like high authority men that she could prove herself to. She needs, not that this is okay, but this is her brain. She needs people that make her have to prove herself. She don't like people that like her, because in her mind, it's like, I hate myself, so what's wrong with you for liking me? So what she needs is people that really don't give a fuck about her so that she has something to chase. This girl's very broken. It's honestly, it's sad. I think the more she speaks, the more she's just going to get herself in trouble. She would benefit from pulling an Amber Heard and disappearing for a little bit. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying, if she wants this career to last any longer, I mean, girl, it's 50. You're 50. Like, hang it up. Like, just hang it up. Try to actually enjoy this next chapter, maybe. I don't know. But who am I? Yeah. I love how I said that. And then the hangman is in reverse, which is like refusing to change. Ugh. Yeah, because it's all about the money and the relationship. The way this woman cares so much about the theatrics and the fact that the theatrics are not working is just so ironic. Because she's like, I'll throw my own money at the problem. I'll make a documentary. They'll love me after that. No, Ben, like, come on, for sure. Like, no, like, we need to prove that our love is real. Ben might even have like a savior complex or something, because I really just don't get why he stays with her. It feels like he's like stuck, would be the vibe. Are they like legally married? Because that wouldn't shock me if like he's just afraid of like dealing with the finances or stuff like that. I feel like he's just the type where it's just like, what the least amount of drama is the route I want to go. So he feels like a shell of a person. Like, his energy's barely in this reading. But it's just, her mentality's like, everything I've ever learned is rub with the wrong people and get advances and then make money. Like, that's the only way she knows how to move. So that's why she can't come off as relatable, because relatable is a little far, because she doesn't know what relatable is. It's like asking a rich person how much a gallon of milk is. Like, they don't fucking know. You're trying to get her to be something she's physically incapable of being. But my issue, and your issue as rightly so, is if you can't be that, stop pretending. Like, huh. Okay, there's a chance Ben's going to leave her. What I'm seeing is Ben is trying to strategize leaving. Allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, no facts here. Because that Emperor is in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune is timing. And then Three of Swords. This is already dead. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song, The Old Me's Dead and Gone. It's like, I'm not death gripping this, you are. So I do feel like he might leave her in the future. It's just a timing thing with that Wheel of Fortune. It's very loud to me. It's like timing. Yeah, Knight of Cups in reverse. It's like, all that glitters isn't gold. What I poured into this isn't what I wanted. But I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. And I don't want the public to know. I feel like Ben wants to start a new adventure of his own. This reads to me like someone who wants to leave his wife and then start like a new movie to reinvent himself. It's kind of giving me the vibe of like leaving my wife, right? This is kind of giving me the vibe of like Ben might leave JLo while she's falling on her hill because it's the right time. Like, time-wise, like he wouldn't be, no one would judge him if he were to leave JLo right now. Do you see what I'm saying? So I do feel like he's kind of waiting for the right opportunity. It's almost giving me the vibe of like once everybody else cancels her, then I'll be able to leave. Because with this, it's like right now it's too public. We literally have a documentary, but I want to get out so that I can start a venture of my own with that Page of Pentacles. So this gives me the vibe. I feel like he's waiting. He's biding time. But he's going to break her heart. The man is doing it to the woman. So that he can go off and be his own. Again, it's giving me like I'm trying to be the it guy again. So it would not shock me if he leaves her, but we know with these celebrities, it might be, oh, it was amicable, blah, 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 especially with JLo's ego being like bigger than the door frame. I could see him spinning it like creative differences or some type of bullshit. But no, he left her. If they break up, he left her. And it's so that he can find himself again. Because it's like, this is a bit embarrassing. This is why he also doesn't hide the facial expressions. Because it's like, I want this to die. Like, that's the vibe. Ben has been done. I don't even know why he got back into this, to be honest with you. He's done. He's been done. And I think I wonder if he originally thought that, just like JLo, that like the millennial nostalgia bringing back old. I think he might have also thought that it was a good idea in the beginning. I almost feel like this was maybe a business deal or something. Because it's giving me the vibe of like it could benefit us both to be together. Because like people loved when we were together the first time around. So I think like, I feel like Ben thought that this would be like a nice nostalgic moment where drum up publicity and people would love you again, blah, blah, blah. Same celebrity bullshit, but very quickly realized that JLo is exhausting. Like, that's why his face looks like that all the time. He's exhausted. But I do think that he wants to start some sort of new passion project where he's like the main character. This is giving me the vibe of like Ben Affleck starring in a new movie where he's the main guy. I don't know if he's actually going to do it, but it's definitely something he wants to do, but timing's a big factor in this. How can I leave JLo with the least amount of pain involved for my career so that I could create a new look for me? It's like it's given Ben 2.0. Back deck energy. Yeah, with the moon reverse and the Queen of Swords, this is literally giving me the vibe of what you see is what you get with her, so... Yeah, because what I'm hearing is that quote where it's like, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. That's what I'm hearing. And then the Knight of Wands is walking on eggshells. So, yes, the stories coming out about her is true. Yes, with that Queen of Swords, she is quick to temperament. But there's a lot of trauma here. She would benefit from some serious therapy. So I'm not going to downplay that she has been through some shit. This is why people behave this way. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the industry also tried to pin her against other Latinas because I just keep seeing, like, I'm being drawn to, like, Shakira and stuff like that. It's like, I don't think she necessarily wanted the heat, but it's kind of giving me the vibe of, like, whatever sells. So I don't think that she had an opinion of these women. She might have been jealous, like, especially if you're Latina, she was probably jealous. But it's just giving me the vibe of, like, she'll say yes to anything. So if feuds sell, then she's going to create that feud because whoever is pulling her strings is the one who... JLo's just a talking head. She doesn't have a personality. She doesn't have a sense of self. And frankly, because she's so unhinged, because she's in so much trauma and she's not sure who she is and where she's going, you got half the people on her team that are like, girl, don't waste your money, don't do this. And then you got the other half, the people that benefit from this that are like, fuck it. Like, why don't you start some beef? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Like, the industry don't care about you. You're a product. You are on the assembly line. We will make another one of you. Like, that is the vibe. They don't give a fuck about you, your family, nothing. So, JLo got cold because the industry was cold to her. And she's cold to other people because the industry's cold to her. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying that's how it happened. So, yeah. I don't think there's any real legitimate beef with other celebrities. It's just more like, I don't like myself and therefore I don't like you. And then the exec says, hey, cause beef with Madonna. That'll drudge up some gossip. And then she's like, yeah, sure, fuck it. It's giving me Doja Cat. Like, I don't care if I'm a tyrant. I just want to make money and get out. Like, that's kind of the vibe. Which is funny because she's got this weird mixture of like, she wants people to love her, but then it's got to be on her terms, under her story, and she doesn't want her story to crumble, but her story is made out of like toothpicks, not a foundation. Very weird. Very weird energy. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I don't know if you guys want me to like hyper focus on a specific thing involving JLo. It seems like her life is kind of tumbling down, if I'm being honest with you. This seems like just very in alignment with astrology. All these celebrities that don't actually have much to offer, just they're kind of showing their own hands. We don't really have to do much. So, yeah, there's really not much else to say about JLo. Is she rude to wait staff? Yeah, absolutely. She's rude to everybody. She's rude to her own husband. You don't think she'll be rude to wait staff too? She rude to the people she works with? Yes, absolutely. She's rude to everybody, including herself. She's mean because she's mean to her. She doesn't like herself. She's mad. She's mad at the industry. There's stories she has that she can't tell. She's paid off people. People have paid to keep her shut. You know what I mean? It's the industry. She's just one of many. It's just, yeah. So, I don't know. I think that's it, y'all. I do feel that Ben is going to leave JLo. I just feel like it's a matter of when, because I just see him snapping. I see him just being like, because I think what he's been trying to do up until this point is numb it out and just be like, just angry, but then like drink and smoke and whatever he's got to do to numb it out. But I feel like he's reaching a breaking point. I do. So I kind of feel like they will be splitting up eventually. It doesn't feel like imminent, but I'd say the next 5 years, 10 years max. Because I just see Ben just building up resentment, building and building and building. And I see their relationship getting worse and worse as time progresses. It's just like, you got two Leos that aren't happy. That's going to get toxic. It's a matter of time. So I do feel like he might leave her. You guys might ask me about the kids. I don't feel like she doesn't love her kids. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like she doesn't know how to be a mom because it wasn't modeled to her. And again, I think, yeah, it feels like everything that she has in her life is like, how can I turn this into success? How can I turn this into money? So is she a shitty mom? For the industry, it's pretty normal, honestly. It's not the worst. It's not the best either. I'm sure she picks, yeah, I'm not going to drag her too much. Y'all let me know if this was good. I don't know. I'm having a hard time just straight up dragging her because I'm seeing something else, y'all. I'm seeing her earlier years and decisions that she had to make that we don't know about. I don't know if she's going to come out and talk about it or if she's going to be like other people that are silenced and just don't want to talk about it. But I think that this is a trauma response. So, yeah. If you guys want me to look at anything specific, let me know. But this is pretty much what I got, y'all. I think her relationship's about to fail. Her celebrity was kind of never really there to begin with, if we're being honest. So, she might just continue to be B-rated, or she might take the L like Amber Heard and just disappear for a little bit, to be honest with you. But with that Leo pride, I think you might have to take her out swinging, to be honest with you. She might... that grandiose sense of self, if you convince yourself long enough that you're right and everybody else is wrong, eventually you're going to believe it, So, anything else, Spirit? I just don't see her lasting long. It wouldn't shock me if in a couple years she's like, oh, I want to retire and focus on my kids or something like that. But actually it's just her admitting defeat and like rolling her sleeves up, Like she might do like cameos and shit like that, or a makeup brand or something to stay relatively relevant because she's a Leo that wants attention. But I think the days in which she was important, they're long gone. They're long gone. You're not going to convince me that she's going to have a new album and it's going to go viral. She doesn't give me the vibe of the type of celebrity stardom where she could disappear and come back and people love her. I think we're seeing the beginning of the end of JLo and the beginning of the end of JLo and Ben. So I'm going to leave it there. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It really does support my page. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, just click on my website. The link is in the bio. It takes up to 3 weeks. You want a good reading, not a rushed one. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. And you'll be the first to know when my videos come out in case you lose me in the algorithm. But yeah, I think that's it, besties. So I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, if you guys want me to look at anything specific, like I guess I could look at Pdiddy with her and see what went on there. I could dig further, but I do think that she's been through some shit that we don't know about. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Love you, besties. Love you to my regulars. Love you to all of you, period. Bless. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Bye.